So I see a few thumbs up, and right now I'm going to the final part of finishing our short film. Okay, so very nice, very perfect. Okay, so let's say right now, Paul has already done his edit, and then he hands his work over to his assistant editor, which is me right now, to do all the hard work. Okay, he have done his creative work already. I have to help him to do his management work, and then I have to take over now. Okay, but usually you can do this by yourself also if you are not so lazy by Paul. Okay, I'm sorry, Paul. Okay, so right now, we are going to go into our delivery page, which is the last page, okay, and then right below your the page bar over here, all right. Going to the last page where you see a skyrocket, click on it. This is where we are going to look at our delivery page. Okay, so delivery page is where we actually do our export, okay, or some of the people use the term render a final video and then to upload it into your Facebook, your YouTube, or your Vimeo. Okay, so these are the common social websites that we constantly use but also these settings actually can be used like in any of the social media website, include your Instagram and stuff like that. Okay, all right, so I'm heading in. Let me just open up my slides first. Okay, the slide is for me to refer lah. All right. Okay, here we go. So first thing first, when we are inside the delivery page over here, there are a few things that we have to pay attention to. Okay, so first of all, it's actually render settings at the top left of your delivery page over here. So one thing is that there are actually a lot of things that we have to look at. Okay, so usually, because right now we really have to like click at this bar here, and then we have to drag down and see all of the other things, right? It's a bit troublesome. So what we need to do is we go to the top left of the delivery page, right beside render settings, you will see this drop down menu symbol. Click on it, and then it will expand your render settings page. Okay, let me redo it again. Okay, see this little symbol here, click on it, and then your render settings will be expanded. And then you'll be able to see every single things that you need to see for your render, or we call it export. Okay, it's the same meaning. All right. Okay, so under render settings over here, there's so many different settings, right? You see, there is custom, there is YouTube 1080p, Vimeo 1080p, H.264 master, and blah, 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 blah. So many alien words. Oh my goodness, what the heck are they, right? Of course, as a professional, we all know what is it. But the thing is, for you guys, all these things can be very overwhelming. But I'd like to explain a little bit, okay? So, custom is where we get to set our custom settings. We have to decide everything by our own. Okay, so in terms of quality, resolution, and stuff like that, we have to decide our own. I'll go through with you later. Okay, and then next, Vimeo 1080p and YouTube 1080p. Basically, inside DaVinci Resolve, you can actually log in into your Vimeo account and YouTube account, and then you can straight away use Vimeo and also YouTube preset to export, and then straight away upload to your Vimeo and YouTube. Okay. But today we are not going to use that. This is for lazy people only. And as a beginner, the beginning thing that we always teach is don't be lazy until you are very good at it, and then you can choose to be lazy because you already know how to do all these things. Okay? But today we are not going to use that. Okay? And then H.264 master is like a preset for your web and also your TV station deliverables sometimes. Okay? IMF is a very high class thing because it's a Netflix standard. If you are working for Netflix, then you have to use IMF. Okay? But too bad, none of us here get to work for Netflix yet, so I cannot explain to you so much about it. I'm so sorry. Okay. And then you get to see all these different symbols that actually represents different softwares. And what do? Okay? So what do? Is that if you see there's like Final Cut Pro 7 lah, Final Cut Pro X lah, Premiere, XML lah, Avid AAF lah, Pro Tools lah, all these kind of alien thing, right? Don't understand? Okay. So All these presets are actually designed to be able to, for example, right now I've done my color grading. I need to send all my footages back into, like, for example, Premiere, for example, Final Cut, and then I'll need to use this preset to actually help me transfer whatever I've done here and to have a successful transition into all these other softwares by using this preset. Again, today we won't use it because we are solely doing everything inside DaVinci Resolve. So we actually skip some steps that are so troublesome. Okay? And then over here, I'd like to cover a few more things. Here, the viewer, you will be able to see whatever you have already edited. Does it look similar, right? The viewer and also your timeline over here. It is the same thing that's brought over from your edit page. Same viewer and also the same timeline. But the difference is that inside your edit page, you can delete anything you want. Okay, like this. Okay, let me redo it. Okay, and then go back to my delivery page. When I select the clip 00106, when I select backspace on my keyboard, I am unable to delete anything because it's not designed for you to do your edit at all. This is just for you to see what you have edited and how did your timeline look like and what do you have. Okay, this is very important. So do not delete. You cannot delete. I mean, you do not delete also, like you cannot delete also anyway. Okay, so this is just for you to preview. All right, and all the clip thumbnails over here, these are actually whatever clips you have used for your edits. Okay, but the thing is, you won't be able to see this in your edit page. Okay, because these clip thumbnails over here is actually brought over from the color page. It's usually used by colorists to see whether have I already colored something or not. Okay, technically you can always ignore it by pressing this button over here on the top left right beside tape. You'll be able to see clips. If you don't want to see the clips thumbnail, what you need to do is you just click on the click on this clips icon, and then you'll be able to hide or show. Okay, so you have a bit more real estate for your timeline and also for your viewer if you like to. All right. Okay, so let's just say you have a lot of different timelines, and then what happens if you go into your delivery page and then you just realize, the timeline I select is wrong. So how? Okay, if you go on top of a viewer, okay, right under MACsterClass editing, you'll be able to see this thing is called timeline 1. And also there's a little shiny little button over here, okay, this pointer, that actually let you select what are the timelines that you want to choose to export. Let's say you have multiple timelines. But the thing is right now we only have one timeline, so we have only one option, no? Okay? Unless you have like more than 10 timelines, wow, it'll be a nightmare to see every single thing. But it's better than you go into your edit page and then you go and select, don't know, whatever timeline you have, and then you have like 20 over timeline, you have to slowly look at that. Don't have to, okay? Just go into your delivery page. On top of a viewer, under timeline here, you will see timeline 1. Click on this little button over here, you will see different timelines already if you have multiple timelines, okay? So, same thing over here, you'll be able to play back, reverse, or playback forward.
We rushed one.
Of course, or either you can keep it loop if you want to, okay? These are just for you to preview. You cannot really do anything about it, okay? And then, right now, I would like to cover what are the settings that we usually use for Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo, okay? Please pay attention. If you like to write this down, please prepare a pen and paper. But of course, if you're lazy, I can always give you a screenshot later, right after the workshop is done. I'll screenshot the settings for you. But by writing down, you can actually remember better, so you don't always have to refer to my screenshot. Okay? So just like what the master used to say to me, if you want to practice to be perfect, you really need to write things down. Only your brain can really remember. If you only see my screenshot, you can never remember one. Okay? Practice makes perfect. Okay, let's go. Okay. All right. So let's go into my render settings over here. Okay, so I need you guys to follow with me, yeah? Okay, so render settings, select custom, okay? Custom, because even I myself, I'm constantly using custom. I don't want to be a lazy person. I want to be able to select what are my qualities and stuff like that, okay? All right, so go into custom, all right? You'll be able to see file name and location. File name meaning what do you want your video to be named after your export. So for example, right now, the thing is, I myself, I don't know what is the title of this short film, okay? I'm just gonna call it Pulse Baby version 1, okay? V1 stands for version 1, all right? And then, after that, go into, Pulse Baby V1, okay? And then location. Location basically means where are you going to save that particular video, okay? So right now, we are going to create a location for you to save down your video, okay? So go to the browse button right beside the location, location view here. Click on browse, okay? A pop-up window will appear. This thing same goes to Mac and also Windows, both are the same. You have to select anywhere you want to save. So in my case right now, I will save it inside desktop, okay? And then I'll go into, for example, my 720p footage, okay? But by right, we should create a new folder or either anywhere on desktop and just save it. I'm just going to save it inside my 720p footage, okay? File name, keep it as pulsebabyv1.mov, okay? And click save. And now you will see like a location, a path appear in your location bar. See users, Tall-G, desktop, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, perfect. So right now, I'm gonna use render single clip, okay? Because individual clip, today I'm not going to cover what is individual clip because individual clip is slightly more for professional use. So to not let everyone get confused, we are just going to stick to single clip, okay? Single clip meaning I'm going to export my whole video into one video only, okay? Whatever, how many clips you use in your timeline, whatever you do, everything rendered as one only. That's why it's called single clip, okay? All right, I'm going to go through with you all these three tabs: video, audio, and file. Okay, so in the video tab, we have to make sure our export video is ticked, okay? Because a lot of times, custom let you tick and untick all these little things. You just have to make sure export video is ticked, or else when you export later, nothing is coming up, okay? So export video, tick. Format. All right, guys, remember what is format or not just now? Remember my first class just now? What is format? What is codec? Does it remind you of something here? Format is where you dine in, where you eat your food. Codec is the materials that you use to cook your food, okay? So, again, remember format is the extensions, all right? So if we see format as QuickTime, meaning at the end, okay, you will see .mov. Remember just now when we select our location, it actually shows up pulsebabyv1.mov. Okay, if you remember, all right, QuickTime always have the extension of .mov. Okay, remember that. And then today, what we're going to use is MP4. Okay, let's select our format to MP4. Okay, so once you've selected that, and then when I click browse again, you see immediately my file name here, pulsebabyv1, just now was .mov, right? Now it's changed to .mp4. Okay, so that is the difference of format. Okay, remember for YouTube, Vimeo, and whatever social media website, MP4 is one of the fastest way to upload it, okay? Because why? YouTube itself actually recognizes MP4 as default format, and you don't have to go through any compression and converting anymore. If you use MOV, if you compare .mov and .mp4, you try to upload it, okay? You can see that .mov YouTube will take more time to process. Okay, I don't want to bet on you. You can just try it yourself. Okay, but trust me, use .mp4. It will save you at least 20 minutes. Depends how long or short your short film is lah. Okay, so codec, always choose H.264 because there's only there's only one option. Okay, so you can only choose H.264. Okay, and then for resolution wise, okay, so by right, our timeline resolution right now inside my settings over here is actually 1080p. But for most of you right now, it's 720p. I'm going to change it first. 1280 to 720. Okay. Okay, I have to redo something here. Pause, baby. B1. Okay, everybody still with me? Remember, format change to MP4, codec H.264. Okay, resolution-wise, always stick to what your timeline is. Okay, if your timeline setting set to 720p, your export resolution needs to be 720p as well. Okay, you can never go higher, but you can always go lower resolution. The reason why is that now Resolve is processing your timeline in 720p, but let's say you tell Resolve, hey, I want to export in 1080p. Not right? Okay, because whatever you export later might look very low quality. I personally have tried it before. I can't remember how my quality looks like, but I remember it's something not good lah. Okay, so whatever your timeline resolution is, you set your export resolution the same as your timeline. Okay, frame rate, again, stick to 25 frames per second. Okay, and well, you have only one option anyway. Okay, all right. Next is actually quality. Okay, quality you can always stick to automatic because it will always choose the best quality for you. Okay, but if let's say there's a space, let's say for example you have a short film that you need to submit into film festival and things like that, and then it will start to tell you, okay, actually I need your quality to be restricted to, for example, 4000 KB per second or whatsoever. Okay, then you can always click on restrict to, and then you can start changing the number over here. Okay, right now I'm going to show you my slide. Okay, to show you a link from Google. Give me a second. Okay, so actually from Google's preference for YouTube, okay, I actually searched before. What is the recommended upload encoding settings? Okay, just in case you forget what I say today, always search recommended upload encoding settings for YouTube and the answer will appear. Where is it? Okay, as you can see, container format is MP4. Video codec H.264. Frame rate depends on what do you use. For example, 35, then it's 25. Bit rate. This is where we decide how our quality is going to look like. Okay, so you will be able to see all these lists that is prepared by Google for you. Okay, and if we go down to 720p, we are going to look at recommended video bit rates for SDR upload. Okay, we can ignore the HDR. Okay, that's not our league. Okay, we are just going to focus on SDR. Okay, and then look at 720p here. Okay, 720p, the recommended video bit rate is actually 5 Mbps. And what does 5 Mbps stand for? 5 Mbps actually stand for 5 megabytes per second, or megabyte, I think. Okay, so it also equals to 5000 KB per second. But that is for 720p. Okay, if let's say your machine is good enough to actually process 1080p, let's look at it. 1080p, we can actually set it to 8 MB per second, which is 8000 KB per second. Okay, so you can always set accordingly. So that is what they recommend you to do. Okay, it's either 5000 for 720p or 8000 for 1080p. Okay, remember that. But of course, you can always go higher, but the higher it is, the longer time to export and the bigger file size it is. Okay, just remember that. All right, it's very straightforward. Okay, it also affects how the quality of your video looks like, because the lower the number is, let's say for example 1000 KB per second, meaning you get lower file size and lower quality video. Okay, so if let's say if you're on 720p and the rule is 5000 kbps, you can feel free to go up to 8000 kbps is fine. Okay, that is just a guideline for you to follow. All right, okay, very well. And then encoding profile, just leave it on auto, it will just do the best for you. The only thing you need to know about changing is quality to automatic, or either restrict to a particular number of KB per second. Okay, keyframe also set to automatic. Advanced settings wise, okay, we don't have to set anything because it's for professional users only, so we can always keep that. Okay, and they are a bit hard to understand at this moment. Okay, subtitle settings is okay, I won't cover it, but subtitle settings basically a settings to go through our subtitles. We can always set our subtitles into a burn-in subtitle or SRT file. Okay, but that needs to be done properly in the edit page. Okay, if you guys want to find out more, you can always ask later, or either we can use, you can always Google it later, but usually we won't really use subtitle settings. Okay, all right, so remember, I want to recap again. File name is your name for your short film. Location is where you save them. Always render as single clip. Video set to MP4 H.264. Resolution, follow your timeline resolution. Frame rate, you can never change it. Whatever you set in your project settings, 25 frame, then it's always 25. Quality, you can always change to automatic or either restrict to 5000 KB per second, 8000 KB per second. And then others, leave it as automatic. All right? And then, let's say, when you're done, actually you're not done now, you can go into audio. You can always select whether you want to choose to export audio or not. So if let's say you just want to let people see your picture only, don't want any audio, you can always untick it. And then resolve will not export your audio. But usually we want our audience to listen to our audio lah. So we have to keep it on. Okay? Everything just leave it the same. For file wise, okay. Excuse me. Okay. So for file, we actually have two different options. Okay. What is the option? Custom name and timeline name. Okay. Custom name meaning we are able to customize the video name. Like for example, just now I actually write it as Pause Baby V1. But if let's say your timeline name is correct, you can always select timeline name and your file name will be grayed out. You can't change that anymore unless you change your timeline name in your edit page. Okay, you follow whatever timeline name. So for now, it's going to be timeline 1. But I'm going to change the custom name and then I'm going to rename it Pause Baby V1. Okay, so this is technically what you need to know about rendering or exporting for social media website. Okay, technically that is it. This is the settings that we usually use in our daily life. All right. So when you're done with all your settings, okay, how are we going to render it? Right? We have to click Add to Render Queue, which is the button at the lower left of your user interface here. Okay, under Render Settings, all the way down, you will see Add to Render Queue. Okay, click it. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I have to select my location first. Yes, if let's say if you forget to select your location, it will prompt you to say, hey bro, where you want to save your file? You crazy, you just simply want to add. Cannot like that, I have to follow the rules, right or not? Okay, so I follow the rules. I have to see where I want to save it. Okay, I'm going to save it on desktop. And in our render queue, our right side here, top right here, you'll be able to see a job 1 is added into the render queue. This is what we have added just now, okay? Let me redo it. Click add to render queue, and on our top right, job 1 of our render will be appear in our render queue. All right, so the cool thing about this render queue is that, let's say I have, I'm working on like 3 videos at the same time, okay? And then the client say, okay, today by 5:30 p.m., I want to receive 3 video already. But the thing is right now, you have to go out and then you only have like your 10-year-old daughter at home, okay? But the thing is, she doesn't know what to click, correct or not? So the cool thing is that you can straight away export that 3 videos at the same time. You just have to click add to render queue, and then you can add multiple render queues and then run them at the same time when you go out. So you just have to teach your daughter how to upload it and send it to your boss later. Okay? So this is the cool thing about DaVinci Resolve. Not every single editing software can do, we call this batch render, meaning one shot render a lot of different timelines at the same time. Okay? This is batch render. Okay? So you just have to make sure that you have to select all that and then just start render. Okay, but before we go into that, I want to tell you also, let's just say you have already you accidentally click more than a few times, you can always click on this X button here to cancel whatever you have already selected. Okay, and then now left with only one job to render. Okay, so right now the thing is, all of a sudden you realize, hey, actually I think some of my settings went wrong. Okay, how do I adjust it? Okay, you don't really have to click on the X to cancel it and then to add to change your settings and add to render queue anymore. You don't have to. Okay, what you need to do is you click on the pencil, which is the symbol in between this Wi-Fi signal and the X. Okay, click on it, and then you can start changing your your settings over here. For example, your name now, you want to change to Paul's short form instead of baby. Sounds more formal, right? Paul's short form. And then you will be able to see your under your menu here, all these selections have been changed. Just now was add to render queue, and now you can just click add new job or update job. Okay, you just click update job, and then whatever you have changed will be updated on job 1. If let's say you want to add this as another new job, you just click add new job. And then another sequence will be added into your render queue. So you can render them at the same time. Okay? So when you're done with all this setting, you confirm everything is correct. Okay? One last thing to double check. All right? Click the 3-dot button over here. Okay? And right beside render queue, click on the 3 dots and then show job details. Click on it, you'll be able to see, oh, this is what my setting is. I'm exporting into 720p in H.264, 25 frames per second, and my duration is 19 seconds and 3 frames. This is the details, okay? Just in case you want to find out, okay? But if not, you don't want to see it, you can always click on 3-dot button over here and just type your job details. Okay, very easy and straightforward. So now you have already confirmed everything is correct already. What you need to do is click on Start Render, and then let the magic happen. So obviously, Paul's Paul's short film is very short. That's why we can actually export it very fast. Okay, I don't know whether you guys can see it or not, but I'm going to redo it again. Okay, let me do it. So I click on Start Render, and then you'll be able to see my viewer here starts playing and running. Okay, and done. Okay, so once it's done, you have to go to your location of where you save your video. For example, right now it's in my desktop. Okay, so in my desktop, look for Paul's short film V1 and then double click and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just have to
Yeah, I
keep
saw your text.
watching the playback
What do
and
you
to see
want,
whether is there any
lad?
problem or
Cannot
not.
be rushed, one. Please try to understand. We cannot make people work like machines, one.
Yeah, we cannot make people work like machines, one, correct or not? Okay, but the true fact is that all of us filmmakers always work like machine. Okay, so after you render, I would recommend you guys to watch your playback on any playback software to see whether is there any problems or not. If there's a problem, always come back to re-edit, re-export, re-render it, and then you check again before you upload to your YouTube, your Vimeo, or your Facebook to showcase your latest vlog, your latest video, your latest live video, your latest product selling video, your latest church video, your latest Pastor Miranda's very inspiring speech video, all those little things, everything. Okay, so remember all the settings that I tell you, and you'll be able to be doing your own content starting now. Thank you very much, everyone. Just I had two questions to answer. So number one is, where do you find the transition? So basically, if let's say if you are looking for transition, right? Okay. So basically inside edit page, over here, we are still in edit page, yeah? Okay. We go up to the top left, right beside media pool here, okay, where you browse for your footages and your sound effects just now, okay. Right beside it, you will see a tab called Effects Library. Click on that, and then there are a bunch of things that will show up. It will be toolbox and also audio effects and open effects and also video transitions. Okay, so video transitions are built for video. So what you need to look for is there are different types of dissolve. There's also iris, motion, shape, and things like that. Okay, so let's say if you want to apply some sort of a transition, you can just click on, let's say, cross dissolve. Okay, and then drag and drop it in between two clips and then play. Okay, there you go. So this is how we actually have, how is it called? How do we apply a transition into our timeline? So now,
Yeah, I saw
there
it.
you go. So now you can listen to the audio. Okay, so just now we had a question about subtitles, right? So for example, right here, let me play back first and listen to what this actor say.
Yeah, I saw your text.
Okay, so he says here, yeah, I saw your text, right? So how do we do subtitles is actually, we have to go into effects library again. Under toolbox, you will see titles. We click on it, and then we look for text. Okay, this one, text. Under titles, text. Click on it, drag and drop. Okay, and then listen to your audio, and then you will decide where do you want to start your subtitles and where do you want to end your subtitles. And then we'll use the trim tool, okay, or either just to click on the edges of the title, and then we decrease it, pull it to the left to decrease, okay. And then you will actually see there's a big word on our screen viewer here. Okay, it's called title. So this title thing, we are gonna rename it to what is the line of the actor. So let's listen to it again.
Yeah, I saw your text.
Okay, so the actor's line will say, yeah, I saw your text. Okay, so we will type, yeah. Okay, where are we typing? We are typing in our inspector. We have to select our title first. Okay, make sure it's surrounded by this orange color outline. Okay, and then we go into our inspector under text, and then we'll type out, yeah, comma, I saw your text, full stop. All right, it's too big, right? So what are we going to do now is we have to resize it. So under inspector over here, we have a few different options for our fonts family, our font face, color, and also size. Okay, so right now I want to adjust the size first. I'm going to adjust it, maybe I'm going to change it to, let's say something like 70. Okay, and as I'm changing, you can see that my text is actually also changing at the same time, while the number is also changing. I click and drag and decrease or increase the number at the inspector under the size. Okay, so let's say I'm going to make it to 80, for example. All right, and then once you're done with the size, you just have to change the position of it. So right now we wanted to pull this down, right? The text now is in the middle. It's blocking our actor's face. It's just not nice lah. We want to see his face, but not the text. Okay, so we have to go into our position. Under y-axis, click and drag to pull it down. But the thing is, right now, I kind of feel that my text is kind of blend in with the background. So there are a few things that we have to do. First of all, we can use our drop shadow. So by default, it's already turned on, but we just have to adjust the offset of X and Y to make our drop shadow a bit more obvious. So as you can see, right now there's nothing. Okay, I need you guys to actually focus on the text here. Let me zoom in for you guys. Okay, and then when I adjust my offset X-axis, you're able to see that there's like a black color shadow at the back of the text. And instantly, you will see that my text right now is very obvious and it can be easily be read. Okay, so that is the tip of how to create a subtitle. Is that good? Yeah? Okay, so I guess I've already answered the question of subtitles and also the effects.